Ayo Johnson is a Sierra Leonean-born expert on African affairs based in the United Kingdom. I've just reached him on the line to London. Good morning, Ayo. Welcome to Tea Break. You've heard what the president said to heads of state administration regarding corrupt practices in some government institutions. What's your reaction?
He's not shy in expressing his views on corruption. And of course, it's a step in the right direction. But I would applaud him and ask him kindly to go one step further. It's very important that those officials who you've identified as being corrupt, they should not be in the jobs as we speak today. They should be taken through the judiciary, and if need be, if they're found guilty, they should face the subsequent consequences of that. So it's very important that he sees it through. Fighting corruption is a two-way battle. You go through the first half, which clearly he has done, and it's very important that he finds the muscle and the energy to ensure that these individuals are brought to book, and very much so for him to strengthen the Anti-Corruption Commission, because they have got to go out there now and hunt these people out and weed them out of the system. It's very important that those who are corrupt officials who have been identified in the past, those who are currently involved in corrupt activities, and those who are likely to be involved in corrupt activities in the future, they should clearly be taken out of the system completely.
Okay, Ayo, the president also said this year will be a year of difference, that it will not be business as usual. What's your opinion at the end of the first month of this year?
Well, it's early days. It's an early year, but the first month has been very challenging. I'm sure the president is concerned about the element of corruption that you've mentioned, but also mindful that the international community is watching. Sierra Leone is currently trying to rebrand itself as a nation that's shrugging away all the elements of the past, especially to do with the fact that we come through a decade of war, and we're not really out there with the begging bowl. We want partners to work with us. So if he's to become a credible player, if Sierra Leone has become a credible player, it's very important that the steps that the president has taken are seen to be credible, and he's got to see things through. There's no half-heart measures about this. You can't go halfway. You've got to see it through, and of course that would give impetus, and very much so, at the end of his tenure, whenever that ever happens. It's very important that, like the Mo Ibrahim Foundation award system, they would consider him very favorably if he were to be someone who's considered to be stamping out corruption and seen to be doing so. So it's very important that he continues in the right direction.
Yes, Ayo. Well, will this dishearten potential investors, or indeed encourage them that here, apparently, is a man who means business?
Well, it's a step in the right direction. Sierra Leone currently is moving in the right direction in some of the indications, especially with on issue of bribery, anti-corruption issues, religious tolerance. The World Bank is looking favorably on Sierra Leone on those issues. However, the human development indexes are going in the wrong direction. You know, life expectancy, access to electricity, water, access to healthcare, and these are all going in the wrong direction. So I think the government has got to find a balance as to how they attract investment and justify how they're spending the money. And I think the steps that the president is currently taking are in the right step in terms of providing that confidence. But again, there are no half-hearted measures. He's got to see it through. He's got to empower the judiciary to take action, and the Anti-Corruption Commission has got to act. And they've got to look at best practices from neighboring countries as well. You have Liberia, who President Johnson Sirleaf, only next door. They've got a similar policy in place where they are actually offering incentives to would-be individuals who would speak out against corruption. So it's very important that whistleblowers are given that opportunity and protected as such. And there's some good practices that are around the African continent that can be picked on. But I think the president is moving in the right direction, but we want to see a little bit more.
Okay, thank you very much, Ayo.